have their bellies exposed.
I
saw
yeah,
this at the
anyway,
mall.
so anyway, we are live this time for real. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Oily TrashMovies, the only
Hello.
podcast where two people say unfunny things for, I guess it's going to be less than an hour now. Bubba wants to cut. But anyway, we're your host. I'm Daddy WarBux.
And I'm Bublegum Barbie.
And boy, oh boy, are we building the Tower of Babel today, folks.
Yes, we are. This movie
This
that
is
we
the
are about to see.
bedrock. Before we get into this great episode, last week we did watch Kill Her Goats, and Bubble, did you ever come to a decision on what you rate it?
I do like it, actually. It was boring. So one thing I did find out is when I edit the film and I had to censor all the nudity, cut most of the nudity stuff.
And the movie was 16
boring.
minutes long after we cut all the nudity.
Yeah, and it was kind of boring. So I do like it way more than Alone at Night. So 4-ish is a good, yeah.
Four
4.
bubblegums? Are you giving it bubblegums or 4 on the
No,
trash?
I'm not giving it.
Okay, it's no
4.
bubblegums.
No, come on, no. Like, we already talked about it. Like, I will share 1 bubblegum with 3 of the actresses. Or 4 of the main actresses. I did like the one who came in, the Ferrari. Like, I did like that character. I still was baffled as to why the 2 sisters started fighting. But then I started thinking the Tups are just like that. They were raised in that kind of environment, I guess, because do you remember where the main actress was jumping on the bed with the knife and her friend was like, oh, you had such a strange childhood? So it's just showing that they're just like mental, I guess, like have a tendency to which is why I think the main actress was able to do what she's done, and she was able to kill like the goat
crazy.
people, get crazy because they're crazy. I think that's what it was. They were just playing. It's the way they play, like Wednesday on Addams Family with the 2 siblings. It's just the way they play. So I think that's what the movie was trying to do. But which I like it. It's a really good. It has some gems in the story. The more I think about it, like, I don't know.
All right, there you have it. I don't know. All right, Bubba.
Anything you wanted to add?
No, I really don't. Although I do want to point out that maybe move your mic a hair further away from your mouth. You were actively bumping it. Cease immediately. So, yeah, we watched Kill Her Goats, and then we actually tried, we had an abortive attempt at doing a filler show in which we watched Mad Heidi, and unfortunately,
War hasn't sent me the recording, and he's holding on to it. He's holding the episode hostage.
I don't know if I can have this episode go out. I did pass out drunk, and wow, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I blacked out during the 3rd act. Yeah, I went. I at least for some reason my glasses were on the floor in my office. I couldn't find them for like 20 minutes after I got up that next morning. It was a pretty rough night.
It was a fun night. It was a good movie. We had Al show up, which is the man, the legend. It was great. He was there for a little while. He said the movie was terrible. He hated everything.
He hates all movies, which fine, fair enough. I'll tell you what movie isn't terrible though. The Jurassic Games. This is the epitome of a schlock B movie that ends up being absolutely brilliant and entirely entertaining.
Yes, it is the best. It is by far my favorite indie I have ever seen. This thing is brilliant. It is written well. It is just highly entertaining. If I had the DVD to this, which I should pretty soon, I would play it in gold.
I got my copy of Jurassic Thunder in the mail a couple days ago, which I had completely forgotten I had ordered, but I did. So I'm gonna have Mr. Davis, Milko Davis, sign it when I inevitably meet the man.
I hope so. Oh man.
So we first watched this movie April 1st, 2022. And we came across this because we were looking for terrible movies. Yes. And we had watched one terrible dinosaur movie, and then we found this movie, and to read the synopsis, it just sounds like the worst, most contrived nonsense you've ever heard. So the plot of this movie is 10 convicts on death row are put into a virtual reality game, where in the virtual reality game, they're on an island with dinosaurs, and they have to fight and do something and survive. And if you die in the game, you die in real life. Which, like, why? Why have all of those extra steps? Why not just have the convicts on an island with dinosaurs? Why is it a video game? Why is it just so needlessly complex? But all the parts, they fit. It totally works. It completely pans out, in my opinion.
Yes, that's right. It's just such a good. I remember when we were looking at these type of movies, we looked at the movie poster and we're like, oh my gosh, that looks great. It just looked like a fun time, for sure, and exactly what we were looking for. And it was amazing. We had such a good time. I was so excited. I cannot wait. Do you remember going on Twitter?
Yeah, alright. I did get drunk and tweet at the guy how much I loved Jurassic Games, and I pitched him an entire plotline for Jurassic Games 2, which admittedly he did ask for. He's like, what should I put in Jurassic Games 2? And I'm like, okay, we need an alien, we need a cyborg, we need a killer nun, we need a lesbian just so we can have a gratuitous girl-on-girl makeout scene. Like, I had a lot of great ideas for the sequel. Like, I was really inspired by this movie. a trucker that kills prostitutes.
And wears women's underwear because he's gross.
That's his special power.
That's his special power. This is not just oily trash meat, but this is the cult of Jurassic Games movie lover.
This is now officially a Jurassic Games podcast. All right, are we ready to go? Let's use capital punishment the same way we use sports and television in this country. To distract people. Classic quote by George Carlin. So this is really the premise behind so many other films. You've got Hunger Games is the most recent well-known one. Battle Royale was the classic. And, The Convict, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. So you got like the 4 or 5 extras on set there. That was a great use of a minimal number of people to fake a crowd.
Mm-hmm. And the way they also shot it, which made it look busy. It made the room smaller rather than going out and just seeing 5 people from like top view. Do you remember commenting on the fact that the dinosaur head was just a motorcycle helmet when we first watched it?
It is a motorcycle helmet.
Yes.
With paper mache on it. So this is also a reality show that people are watching.
You're too far away. Yellow means you're getting closer. And green means you have reached the safe zone and completed your first challenge.
How would they know what color they are if it's on their neck? Is it like strong enough to where they could see it? Because the only people who can see it clearly are the people who are looking at you.
You're right, this movie sucks now. I've realized that the premise is completely flawed.
You are contestants on the greatest game show in the world, the Jurassic Games.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! No!
Get wrecked.
Oh, he's dead in real life.
Honestly, that first dinosaur looked pretty bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, it did.
We were still under the false belief at this point that this movie was going to be terrible. Oh man, that guy is stone
he's
cold
so
dead.
dead.
He's a great actor. Look how fake. Look how
Yeah.
dead he looks.
He looks so dead.
He didn't blink or breathe or anything.
The contestants must survive being hunted by hungry dinosaurs long enough to find.
Hey, that was the exact scene we watched.
Exact same. Yeah.
It was just the version of the rendering without the textures on it. I love this because it also satirizes reality television,
Reality TV.
which I hate. Like, I despise reality television. So we established right here from the get-go that this guy is morally superior. He's risking his life to save, an innocent woman, well, who was also on death row.
Also, yeah, on death row.
Ah, pocket sand!
Ah, a rock! See, I would have loved that if, Kill Her Goats with the woman on the beach, if she did something like this.
That was my idea. I literally came up with that.
You were not at all inspired by Jurassic Games.
Let's go! Move!
Hey, remember how in Jeepers Creepers there was protesters, but then nothing ever came of it?
Oh, yeah. It's because they were protesting the cosplay
The Coachella of cosplay.
event.
Our viewers don't care about tension, Brian. They just want to see the contestants die horribly. Spawn them closer next time.
Wrong. People definitely, like, the shit's so highly edited and produced in reality television solely to create tension where there is none. This woman doesn't know what the hell. She's never produced a reality show in her life. She
No,
shouldn't be in
never,
charge.
Ever.
So your wife.
Like in reality television, they would
was tortured.
have tension and argue about who's going the right
I
way
wonder what she
and
was
who's
thinking
not.
when she died.
Oh, man, betrayed! Wait, where'd that rope come from?
Oh yeah, this is what you said last time.
It was a ready-made noose, and now she's stringing him
Yeah.
up. She does not have the strength. She could hang from the other end of that rope, and he would be fine. Just grab the rope and pull yourself up. Like, what are you doing, man? Oh, this is the best guy.
Oh yeah, he is.
This guy just randomly cuts his leg open. Damn, that's a big-ass spider.
Big ol' spider.
This guy's an idiot. He couldn't, like,
I
hop over a
know.
rock without breaking his leg. And ripping his sock
Makes him
open.
so. Oh my gosh.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're a guy who fucked up his leg on a rock.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
the
gosh.
raptors.
This is like the kitchen scene in Jurassic
What are you waiting
Games.
for?
And yeah,
I mean, in Jurassic. What's that other one called?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Like the scene in the kitchen, Jurassic Park.
Wait, they turned off the raptors?
I can pay for the treatment. Okay.
He like beats him up because he said he'll pay the treatment.
I'll
He's
cure
like,
your
"How
mother's
dare you?"
cancer.
They're like my favorite characters, these two.
They're pretty good. They have great chemistry.
They have really, and they're really good actors.
And their hair is beautiful.
Mafia, yeah, their hair is beautiful. The Mafia guy has also beautiful hair, but his acting is eh.
I like how the Mexican guy has, like, his gold chains and stuff.
Oh, he does? I didn't even notice.
But I promise that you are gonna see the raptors soon because stage 2, the maze, is up next right here.
It's like, oh,
on the
sad
Jurassic
news.
Games.
They don't know mom died.
Yeah,
But I
that's
got
so
good news.
That was a
The raptors are coming. That is exactly how reality TV works.
Yeah. So fake. There's nothing real about
Make
it.
sure we keep them alive.
I want all 10.
You collect all 10 actors now.
It's great because it's perfectly satirizing, like, the whole marketing angle and
Yeah.
the merchandising. Oh my god, it's like the scene from Jurassic Park where it peeks around the corner.
Oh, shit.
Oh man, how's he gonna get out of this?
Oh, no.
Bam! Ah, karate!
Ah.
Hiya! Roundhouse kick. Tuck and roll. This is the best action scene I've ever seen in a movie.
I know. It's
This
so
is
good.
better than anything in any recent Marvel movie.
Seen any of it.
Oh my god! Yes! Ah, no! And then he just gets eaten.
So do you think something's gonna happen to that Stephanie girl's face? Since he specifically said, I hope nothing happens to your face?
Yes.
Was that some foreshadowing?
This is such great low-budget, like, set design, too, because it's just, like, 2 corners.
Oh my god. It's like the scene in Jurassic Park when he's in the corner.
Except nobody had a laser rifle in Jurassic Park. You were asleep at the wheel on that one, Steven. Alright, now we're just doing the same thing, but going faster.
Yeah.
Dude, right in the mouth.
Like, this is, do you remember when I was saying, like, for Freeze, if they would have, like, made the room smaller and smaller and smaller, this is perfect. This is a great example as to exactly what I was saying.
Out of ammo. Get wrecked, cannibal. Like how Tucker still has the worthless gun. Oh, I like how we also went from the jungle and now we're in the desert. And just such a great change of scenery with like everything being red now instead of green.
Oh, she stabbed her husband.
Victim number 6.
6. Is she the prostitute? Is she a cam girl?
Apparently. She live streams her murders.
Yeah, listen, doing something with the support of the government doesn't necessarily make it moral, Miss Savannah. This is like the Roman Colosseum.
People have a right to protest. Okay, protesting is one thing, but threatening to disrupt the show's ending.
Hey, do you remember that one time in Jeepers Creepers when there was protesters and nothing
Nothing
came
ever
of it?
came of it.
I mean, she is right. These are like people who like murdered 6 people, 36 people.
Set off a bomb in a park outside of a school.
With children, yeah.
A cannibal.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like the
forgot.
Brontosaurus scene from Jurassic Park.
Like, why is he carrying his useless gun? It's so funny.
Like, does it recharge, maybe? Tucker, don't trust her. She's the Black Widow.
Yeah, she's luring you in her trap of webs. Like the spider in Coraline.
It's like the spider from Jurassic Park. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, she's so dead.
A sentient Jurassic plant. It's just like the
want-
killer plant from Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
He's punching
I
the
like
plant.
it punching the plant.
Ah, doesn't look good. His mouth is full of dish soap. It's the Cain and Abel scene.
This is why this is the foundation of our Tower of Babel. This movie has it.
It has it
Has-
all.
It has Cable and Abel in it.
Cable and Abel. Oh my
See, they had the
goodness.
same guy, like in Jurassic. What was the not Jurassic?
Jurassic Thunder. The guy who just
Jurassic
sat there
Thunder, who
and then
sat
held on
there,
him for like a minute.
Yeah, and he just like walks away for some reason. Weird. I would have cut that character completely.
This is the movie that Milko Davis wanted to make, I think. I feel like they needed to workshop the pterodactyl designs a bit.
Them flying again doesn't look too bad.
Well, both of the brothers are dead now.
Oh, there goes Cain and Abel.
I'm not gonna do it.
Cable. There goes Cable and Abel.
Cable and Abel.
What
I can't believe that actor like fucked up that line
I gotta say.
of Cable and Abel.
The actor being you, Bubble? Is that what you're referring to?
No, the actor being the actor in Jurassic Games.
You're the one who said Cable and Abel.
The director is like so bad at her job at reality television that
She
the
really
host,
is.
like
She's
the
not
host adds
qualified.
more. Yeah, like the host adds more tension to reality TV.
All these characters are great. They all have great
Yeah.
chemistry with one another.
Yeah. I hope I get casted for Jurassic Games too.
I hope I get screenwriter credits.
Guy, you don't hold a gun with your hand on the trigger like that.
This is a combat scenario, Bubble.
Unless he's like prepared to shoot. So, like, is he?
Oh, Bubble, this is the big emotional scene.
I know, but he has his finger on the trigger. That's how
All right.
like accidents happen.
He accidentally shot the cinematographer with his laser
Yeah.
gun on set.
Yeah.
So I guess the ultimate irony would be if we find... This might have happened. It's been a year since we've seen this movie, and I was drinking heavily during it, but the murder weapon was a knife. So I'm assuming one of these people in the game is the one who killed his wife.
Oh my gosh. Do you think
Like,
it
that's-
was the host?
No, I don't think so. I think it was Joy. I think it's this woman right here.
Oh man, this is why he eats them. He can't shoot.
He does have terrible aim.
It's like a storm. This is like Star Wars, but with dinosaurs. I forgot what the movie was called.
You've forgotten both Jurassic Park and Star Wars, and two of the most famous movies of all time, Bubble. To be fair, Bubble did just wake up from an 8-hour nap. You have to, like, clip the entire second where you pause between Star and Wars.
I was gonna say Star Trek. That was like the first thing that I was gonna say, and I can't say that because
Because it
people would
wasn't
be like,
Star
"What?"
Trek.
Because it wasn't Star Trek. This is like Star Trek right here. They're like by a rock, and there's a fight. Oh, this movie's just action packed.
I know, it's so well choreographed, too. Like, those blows, like, he ducks and, like, that
yeah.
kidney shot, that looks so good.
Oh no, the gun!
Now nobody has it. Oh, shit. Trilobites. The gun's useless.
Yeah, with trilobites. Oh no.
It's like the scarab scene from The Mummy. Oh, he's just a skeleton. I love it. Hey, it's me. Damn, she's done pretty well for having her throat bit off.
Yeah, so did the other guy, the first guy who got his throat bit off.
Yeah, like getting your throat bit off in this movie is not dangerous at all, apparently. I don't know. She's looking like she might succumb soon.
Oh yeah.
So how did he bite her throat through the collar that she's wearing? Oh man, we got a saber-toothed tiger now.
Ah, look at him.
That was glorious.
Ah, no! Saber-toothed tiger! What a useless cat. Didn't even
I know,
land on
like,
its
how
feet.
does a cat fall? It fell less far than the cannibal guy fell.
And it's a cat. It's a mountain cat. Like, I think it would have been
It's
fine.
a catamount.
Oh
So-
my god, the
She's the-
anchor.
She's the inside plant for the caveman.
It's like the Trojan horse, but with dinosaurs.
It's the Trojan dinosaur. Oh my goodness! Sexy kickboxing scene!
Oh, honey, you're already dead.
I would have liked for her to, like, for it to be some sort of fight scene, but I think that was his intention. But when they tried to choreograph them, they sucked. So he was just like, no, you know what? Never mind. Let's just push her into the tiger.
Oh, that's sad. Like, yeah, there should have been a quick fight, maybe, and then Joy gets the knife and, like, slashes her face open, and then she stumbles back and gets eaten by the saber-tooth. That would have been perfect. God, I'm at the edge of my seat. This is literally
I know, right?
so
This
exciting.
Is so good.
I love how they can just turn them off.
I know.
Oh, another headshot. Yeah, she's like.
She was a bad
made
actress
a lot of
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a bad actress.
It's bigger than you, me, anybody. Like, there was no. I didn't believe any of that.
Yeah, I didn't believe any of it.
She's definitely the weakest actor.
Actress,
or
yeah.
actress in this film.
Look
Luckily,
at
she
her
didn't have many lines.
Stop the games.
That actually, the son is a pretty bad actor.
The son is a pretty actor, yeah.
Oh my god, this is where she's gonna admit that she killed his wife.
My freedom.
Oh my god, I am like noticing all the tire tracks on the dirt. I'm noticing all the footprints. Look at the tire tracks right there.
What did you say to me?
I said I killed your wife.
Called it.
I'm gonna kill you. Savannah!
He's like barely holding on to her hair.
Oh my god.
T-Rex on T-Rex action. Yeah, stand directly between the two T-Rexes, bro.
He landed on the key.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, they have to get to that barrier.
Oh.
Trip her.
Yeah, just like push her off.
Oh my god. Oh, and her head explodes!
Her head just exploded?
Yeah. Well, hey, he won, and he was proven innocent, and he goes free anyway, and he's been pardoned of his crimes. Wait, her head was back. You could see her head in that shot.
Oh, I missed it.
You're not gonna shoot me.
Oh!
Ah!
Bring it to me live.
Everybody
Now.
was hanging out. All the audience was hanging out until that point.
It's over.
Wait, did you see the one guy turn? Like, they were all running out, and then he stopped and turned back?
Yeah, I did. I did see that. He's like, oh shit. I completely forgot what the director told me. I'll go this way. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Ah! Never mind. They used that same shot, that same CGI rendering 3 times.
Is it gonna burp? Oh, he's gonna roll.
Yas!
Oh man, the police are here.
The government.
The UN soldiers.
This is like. I couldn't think of anything. I'm gonna cut that.
No, you gotta leave all the unfunny shit in. Otherwise, we're not true to ourselves. Poor Tucker. He's like, what the fuck did I do? Yeah. He's like, I thought I won. Oh, and he took a bullet?
Oh.
No! I hate this movie now.
Dang, she's such a good shot.
I know, she killed the entire SWAT team. Guy's like, put me back in the game. They're like, he was in the show and they're now watching it as a family. A T-Rex. Oh, beautiful. Amazing.
Oh, so great. It was so...
Ryan Belgart,
Yes.
you are a genius. A round of applause.
Round of applause.
Alright, so everything about this movie is great.
Yes.
It starts off a bit rough, admittedly. But the look... I believe they're actually on all these locations. It doesn't look like...
Oh, no,
With that
yeah,
desert?
they have to be.
That
Yeah,
desert
they
at
have
the
to
end
be.
was great. You had like the sort of like the Midwest desert. I don't know what you call this area, like where everything's red, like Nevada, like this area here.
Utah,
Nevada. Even this super cramped industrial type area was great.
Oh, yes, it was so interesting. See, this is like a very plain set, and it was still very interesting.
Well, it kept
They're
the movie visually interesting. There's nothing worse than a movie where people run around in the woods for 90 minutes. What else did I love about this movie? All the characters were pretty well developed, and they all had their own charm to them. Even like the guy who died right at the get-go, he was like a super bomber, or not a bomber, but like just a IED producer. You had the interpersonal drama of the humans, and then you had the whole B plot line with the cavemen running over the show.
Yeah.
Completely brought it together. A brilliantly structured script, in my opinion. The
Really
action
good
scenes were all fantastic. We got the brothers. That was a great.
Yeah, dynamic, for sure.
You
You had the action figures.
They look so poorly
They
made.
look so poorly made, but it's okay.
Here's the one thing I didn't like. You have this scene here where for 5 minutes, this gratuitous fight scene, which is awesome. A guy roundhouse kicking these velociraptors in the face, punching them in the mouth, hitting them with chains. Unbelievable. Completely so exciting. And then he just dies at the end. It was almost, it was completely useless. Here's what you do. You have these dinosaurs come in while Tucker and maybe like one of the girls are still working on the maze. And they're trying, you know, and they're stressed out, and now the dinosaurs are here. And then this guy, because Tucker was good to him, fights the dinosaurs, keeping them occupied, giving Tucker and the other people a chance to finish the maze and escape. And then that's sort of a redemption for this character as well, because then he gives his life to save these other people. It would add tension to that maze scene, too. Because, like, just watching them draw on the screen was kind of boring. I think if you're cutting back and forth between this and the people struggling to get out of their little maze touchpads, I think it really would have elevated the scene.
Oh, it was so good. I agree with you. And it's funny because all I could think about is, like, you telling me before we did this episode and prepping up for this episode, you're like, listen, I have a lot to say about this movie. And it's true, you do. And, like, I came completely unprepared for this.
You lost your notes, you might say.
I lost my notes. But, again, it's like I'm watching, it's been a year since I've watched this movie, and it feels like I'm watching it again. I completely forgot. I remember that scene. I agree with the scene where he's, like, fighting. I did also like the side characters. Like, I like this, like having the victims. This was weird, even though it was cool, but he like fell.
Like, come on, you got giant claws. And then, he falls like, he could leap that from there. Have you never seen a cat jump?
He could
Ryan?
totally leap that, yeah. Like, yes, there's some, it's obviously an indie film. There's some imperfections there, but it shows with the little amount of money you have, you can make something great if you have good cast, if you have good writing, if you got good artists, people who want... This movie is art.
It is definitely clearly low budget. It's especially some of the CGI here. I wanted to watch this like frame by frame when he jumps up.
Yeah, I did love the Jurassic fight. Like, I thought the trio right here, oh man, I love that. Just completely disconnects his jaw.
Oh, snap. Oh, man. Oh, it looks like it hurts so bad in slow motion.
Did you see the tongue? Look at the tongue. Ah, the tongue action.
This here, I felt there was not enough emphasis on the woman's head blowing up, especially because this really was an evil person who's not only killed some people, but killed our main character's wife. Boom, you see her head start to go.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Boom.
There it is.
Like, that should have been front and center, and it should have been like slow and dramatic.
Slow down, yeah.
Like
I would
slow motion blow her head off. This is the clip here where after her head blew up, you can see her head here and her eye.
Oh man, I can't see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I see it. I see it. I see it.
Actually, maybe it's her arm. Nah, that's definitely her eye and her eyebrow.
That's her eye and her eyebrow.
Yeah, her hair cascading down off her forehead.
Yeah, that's definitely her head. Like that's a little oopsie on the camera guy. He should have noticed it.
They didn't catch that in dailies.
They didn't catch that in and edit. They should have also catch that, but
man, we're really dissecting the continuity of this scene.
Yes. Yeah.
My head's gonna blow up. Boom. Yeah.
They did a better job of making me feel that this was a T'Challa of Jurassic Games. We didn't even talk about wardrobe. Wardrobe is really good. I didn't see any complaints. It's just, you even mentioned like, oh, he has his golden chains.
Yeah, and all of the characters are visually interesting and sort of striking in their ways. And a big problem with a lot of these movies, all movies in general, maybe I have kind of a semi-face blindness. I've trouble telling people apart. Like, at Lone at Night, when we didn't even know which bearded guy with a ponytail survived to the end.
That was the funniest moment, to a point where I ended up messing up my own talking. So the way he ended up, the handyman ended up dying on Alone at Night was the neighbor somehow managed to steal a police car, steal a police car uniform, and look like a cop. And when he pulled him over, it was him, supposedly.
Oh, really?
That's how he was killed. When he was pulled over, it was him, the neighbor.
No.
Because he
kidding.
assumed, yes, because he assumed that she had no idea. He had no idea of Victor's existence until he showed up. Because he confused, just like us, confused him as Victor. And I was like, what the heck?
Well, thanks for filling in those plot holes of Alone at Night, one of our least favorite movies we've watched yet so far.
I wish this would have been like more interesting. That kill of her suffocating that dude a little.
That's
bit.
also hard to believe. Like, I don't think that could happen.
Yeah, I think he would, especially because it's a male. Like he could just push her off, like for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
one,
push someone off like
it
that.
takes a lot of strength to strangle somebody, and then like
It
to do
does.
it with a pillow.
Yeah.
Like
it
the other
does.
ones, she like knifed the guy like that. Like if you surprise attack somebody with a knife, you can kill them pretty easy.
If they would have done like hardcore, kind of like tied him up, if they were doing that, like
Okay,
playing
like,
and she was
yeah.
doing that, yeah, I would believe it. So that would be an easy fix. I did wish that.
Well,
I mean,
hold on, before we move on from, I think her name was Sarah. We actually that was sort of wasted because she never really that part of the character didn't have any effect on her in the games. Like there wasn't the part where she tried to seduce the guy to, because and the host even specifically said, yeah, she will lure you in with her charming good looks and then kill you. And she did nothing of the sorts. And then, of course, we had the failed kickboxing scene, which was kind of a disappointment.
And also eating her face. That makes sense. That would be nice. But I think this movie didn't have any budget for effects. They didn't have the money for the
practical effects with her having her face cut open and stuff.
Makeup, really. I don't think they had a really strong makeup crew, because if you notice, there's a lack of blood. There is a lack of the only really special effects was the guy who brushed up his leg on a.
Well, no, and then his face got melted off.
Oh, that too, which wasn't that great either. I've seen way better special effects than that on very, very a lot of good indie actors, a lot of good indie films. I think the funding was very short on that because blood is.
And that's something you have to
do. Yeah.
You have to do that on set, and that's cutting into your production time. Whereas all the CGI stuff you can do, as you essentially have infinite time to work on the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bubba, do you have anything more to say about this movie? You've been kind of tight-lipped, really.
Yeah, I really recommend to watch this movie. This was a great movie. It's a lot of fun. Ryan nailed it when it comes to indie films, 100%.
This is the premise. The fact that the premise is so stupid and then it was executed so flawlessly. This is exactly the kind of thing you wouldn't ever see in a mainstream high budget movie, because no production company would ever want to take that risk of it's like Hunger Games but with dinosaurs, but they're also in virtual reality. And you're going to have a scene where a guy karate kicks a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It would never get greenlit.
It would never, yeah, exactly. And how you described it in the beginning, before we even pushed play, it just sounds ridiculous. There's no way. It's like Star Wars. If you didn't know, Star Wars, they were oh gosh, they were all taking a risk. And they even told the actors, it's listen, they even made a contract that this is not going to affect their career for making this movie. Everybody thought this film, Star Wars, was gonna be trash, and this film also does it so beautifully, and they did it in such the lowest form of budgeting of making a movie just possible. Yes, it has some
it's rough around the
cheesy
corners,
moments.
you might say.
It's rough, but it's just well executed for what they had. this movie is exactly what it's supposed to be, and it has so much potential, and I cannot wait for Jurassic Games 2.
I give this movie 100 million WarBux. Even the shit, okay, like maybe re-edit that one fight scene, but whatever. Like, it was so great, so much fun. These things look awful. I can't even believe, like, that's in it, but okay, like, it works. It doesn't matter. Like, at this point, we are so invested in the movie. We just loved every second of it.
Yes. And see, this, even with the background, like, with all these extras, the way they were placed is very brilliant.
All of the people involved in making this movie really knew how to make a movie.
Yeah.
And they knew how to make a movie even with the limitations of only having, oh, okay, we've got 6 people here. And all right, here's where the guy runs to the edge. And then he just stops and turns around. And even before that, you could see the other people to the edge of the frame like start slowing down. It's like, okay.
Oh god, it's like
That was great.
He thought he was out of frame.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. My suspicion, I think they only had about 2 cameras, if that. I would like to know if Ryan ever watches our podcast.
How many cameras? Yeah, he's like we had 30 cameras. What's this woman talking about? Like, look, like this fight scene has like 4 different angles in it.
Yeah, well, they could do the same fight scene over and over. I've seen it happen. Where, and I've even done it. A fight scene. It's one camera and just doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That's brutal.
It's brutal. I was sore for an entire week. I mean, I would have loved a little more, like you said, with the
sexy kickboxing,
the sexy,
scene.
and then like really making her a little more sexy. Like having to attempted to seduce the cannibal and her just trying to use her fighter
feminine
stuff,
wiles.
Yes. And all of a sudden just kicks him. That would have been fun. Just stuff I would have liked more about the characters. But again, like these characters was so...
Yeah, it's hard to write 10 interesting characters.
And then having to place them in their own right, as to why they're there and so on and so forth. It's really great. This movie's fantastic.
All right, yeah, 100 trillion WarBux.
Yeah.
Crash the
Punching of
crash
the plant.
WarBux.
I give it all my Bublegum. This movie.
It knew when to play it straight and it knew when to ham it up.
Yeah.
It had all of the emotional beats. They all gave, everybody in this movie did their jobs and did it well.
They succeeded for sure. Oh man, I think that's all I have to say about this film.
Yeah.
Support it, man.
Yeah, go
Jurassic
watch this.
Games.
Buy it on Blu-ray. Yeah, and follow us on Twitter. Thank you to our 750,000 weekly
thank you guys.
viewers for you made it through 10 episodes with us.
Yes.
It's a milestone.
Yes, it is a milestone. Thank you, 12 subscribers, and we're most thankful for Daddy WarBux and Bublegum Barbie.
True.
Care about you.
Thank you. Thanks, Bubble. It feels great to be respected and appreciated.
This is now Jurassic Game Podcast.
Hell yeah. Take care, comb your hair.
Bye.